Blessed be God, I was able to be with my baby for 7 years until she entered into the glorious heavens. But I don't ever want to forget her work. She was a lover of dolls. You know, these dolls, they worth thousands now. These dolls are money. They're all collector items. They're all uniquely created and built. Individually, she has a few of them. Then they give you a nice little window view. You can't see it now. My mother designed it to be closed for, we love privacy, you know. There is a home right across the street. But for us, that home wasn't there. It used to be a lot. So we still like to decorate things inside. We just open up during the day, though, you know, if we want. As you see, there's more of our dolls at the top. And the bordering, money. I mean, time. It takes not money like expensive, but it shows, you know, I know the value of my mother, that she took the time to really make her house look like a home. Now out here, I don't know if even one can see it because it's a little dark outside right now. But this was the front porch area here. And we put the little tarp up, actually, just give a little privacy. And my mother decorated the front. It used to be open, but she put that little fence there. Because she got tired of actually coming to the door when the mail guy or someone would come and knock on the door. Because she's all the way, you know, the room of her bedroom is in the back. And she liked to come outside and just look outside and just have a little, you know, kind of having like a little deck area to yourself on the outside. So now we're gonna go upstairs real quick. It's probably a little too dark to go outside right now to film that tomorrow. But like I said, I'm gonna be packing. I'm gonna start packing tonight. The steps is rough, like, you know, there's grandkids been in this house. So after a while, you're like, look, you know, kids gonna rip them. Look, you know, you gotta let some things you can. It costs. Everything cost. So this was a room that my sister and I used to live in. This became a guest room. And my brother actually lived in there. All of that could be repainted, as you see up there. Those things is not cost. Things is not cost when you're talking about $250,000. That's not. And this is not leak either. That was something that was former. All that had been fixed out. But we're talking about $15,000 possibly. And the replacement cost. But this is a bedroom here. My mother decorated this room too. Right here where the stand is, where my baby brother Nick always used to have his flat screen at. He'd come home from work. I'm talking about just 3 years ago. Life is water. This is like ever changing. But this was the room he had. Let's get back a grip around. Now, while I'm in this room, I'm going to take you on upstairs here before we go across so I don't have to backtrack. So we're going to go up here. Now, I don't know if I mentioned in this video, but it's in the other room that used to be the attic, the doorway to the attic. And then when the house was rebuilt, they put the doorway to the attic on this side of the house. In this bedroom. So this is the room that people go into now when they want to get to the attic to store whatever they wanted to store. But my brothers, we hung out here too. So this is the way up to the attic. It's just paint, little stuff I got out. All this is coming out, you guys know. All of this is coming out. But this is what the attic look like. Where you can hang out. You can make rooms up here. And I would say again, this works out just so awesome when you have teenagers and they're boys and they want their space. Because as you see right here, you can put up a tarp, one for them on this side and one they put on there for the other brother on this side. And they feel so independent just not being in the part of the house that's the downstairs, the bedroom areas. Children aren't like that, and this does help you grow so much, just having just a little bit of privacy to yourself. which is good. And this home and this particular real estate, it does give you that in every single way. So you got a school like right down the street. Really, kids walk to school. So we're gonna head on back downstairs. And I don't know if you noticed, but like on the back wall too up there, you could put, I mentioned that before, you can put a flat screen up there. You can do any, like in here, you can put a, you can put a flat screen on the wall up here. You don't have to have a flat screen sitting down anywhere. It gives you enough, you got good enough wall space to kind of do what you want and still put pictures up and hang things up. So now we're going to walk into this room here. This was a room that used to be my brother's room that then became a guest room as well. In this room, my mother recreated and designed. And what I like so much about this room is that this is the room that everyone's dreams birthed out of. Something more what you want when you're looking for something in life and you're looking for the answer to that question. This is the room that it happened in. It happened in this room. This is the room where my mother started Shirley's Kitchen. This is the room where my mother started her own child care services, as well as then the room in where she humbled herself regardless of what she knew, the wrong that was going on in some places where there's nursing at. She went back and humbled herself to go back into nursing, even though she knows, I'm being honest, not every doctor is the greatest doctor. Not every nurse is the greatest nurse. And when you're the nurse that cares, it hurts you to see some things that patients go through that they don't deserve to go through. They really don't. They really don't. So we're going to head on back downstairs now. See my Zion. She is so, she's awesome. When I was in Arizona, I lived out there for almost 10 years. And she's the one that I always wanted. But I had 3 dogs prior to her, too. And she came to me. She was the third one to come to me. And she was the one I wanted to be the first one. And God had other ones that they went, I don't know. You know, I had 3 dogs. So 2 of them went away and God took back. And this is the one that God kept with me. It's the best way I can put it. My Zion right here. So, as I said, this is the kitchen back again. And I don't know. Oh, and let me show. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I want to show off everything, so I'm being out rude. I said, like, right here, this was the doorway. Now, let me just shut the light on here, so I don't know if anyone can really get a good look in here. This is probably a whole lot better. Okay, so we're going to go down to the basement. So now you can see better. There's a door right here, too. Now, this door, years ago, that was closed off. Now they opened it up. That's nice. I like it that way. They're both open, both sides. But now we're going to go down to the basement. You can see what the basement looks like, which also, too, can be transformed into a room when you have real estate. You can do whatever you want. It's your property. It's your property. Almost whatever you want. There's certain, building codes, stuff, things like that. But basically, still, you can do what you want. So this is one side. And I'm going to say first, my mother did an awesome job over here. And since she's been gone, I was one of her beneficiaries. So the things that I knew needed, like even a vacuum cleaner, I bought and I saved the boxes because I also knew that I had to move. So I have boxes stored. And I'm going to, also too, you guys know I'm starting to pack tonight. So this is what it looks like over here. Just so you know, you clear all this out. When it's cleared out, you're going to see the view out better. There's actually a window that's all the way in the back here too. But you can't really see that well now. You just see the little board back there. But there's a window back there, and the room is by far more spacious than it looks like right now. I think that's my sister's ladder. One is my sister's, one is my stepdad's. So this room, I made sure I didn't affect. I actually put this bed down here because my mother opened up the area, and I like it. I know I'm right by the tanks. I don't care. I'm that kind of person. I used to live in New York, so I love basement areas too. I like it, basement, attic, because I'm away from society for a moment, and just me particularly, I feel like I can think better, you know. So when I was studying for my real estate, this is where I was at. So it opens up into, you know, another room, and you can put in here out anything that you want, TVs. My mother just decorated out however, you know, she wanted to. And that's another area you have right here. All right, so head on back upstairs. Now, also in case no one believes me about that, I'm going to prove it. I'm not a lie. I mentioned that was so devastating on me, and when my mother's home was going up for sale, we're back in her room right now. So when my mother's property was going up for sale, to know that, well, actually was going through, I had passed the redemption period, but to know that I was in school at that time, and I was in school to be able to try to save out her property. So no one wants to believe this is something that I would need to share. If you're looking on the date, I had to the 24th. There's a gentleman too. I got him. This video is going to be extended a little bit long, but I just got to say this. I like pink. I'm going to go with the favorite paper. So we're going to go with pink. So, yeah, and pink really stands it out for me too, more because it's when I need to show. Now, the pink paper, like I showed you the date, was the 24th. I don't know if anyone still sees that or not. But on the 24th, I spoke with the sheriff. The sheriff, his name is on this piece of paper too. Phenomenal man, I'm just going to say. There's a brief story I'm going to share about that. This woman right here, this is my great-grandmother. She's Native Indian. She married an Irish man. There was an Irish man she met that she fell in love with. They fell in love with each other. This was back in the 1920s. And the Irish man that she fell in love with, that she married, was a sheriff. And all of his brothers were sheriffs as well. They're pickets. They actually ran the town this is in Midway, speaking on like in Midway, in Union Springs, Alabama, in Birmingham. In Birmingham, in Alabama. And for the first time in my life, I've gotten favor from a sheriff. I just say that too, so there's no coincidences in this life. So on the date of the 24th, why I point that out is that he was a gentleman that told me, he said, if you want to get an extension and you want it to really work out in your favor, you can't go 2 weeks prior. You got to go at least 3 days before you know that it's the deadline to move out. So that's exactly what I did. So the time span that it took me to was on that 20th of July, which is the papers that I showed here. That's when it was filed. Now the proof to show you that I was in school. The next, like I said, I went home and I studied all day. I was traveling too. I had to travel. Like where I'm at is in Trenton area. It's not in Trenton, it's in the township. And I was traveling from the township to Cherry Hill, and it was about 2.5 hours travel there and back. So I studied when I was on the train. When I got home, it was too late, and I still had the cleaning and a little bit of cooking to do, and take my dog out and everything, and get up still by 6 o'clock the next day, that I didn't have much time in at night to study when I got home. So I studied in my travels. So this day particularly that I got this, that's the awesome thing of how God does things. This was actually the one day, because I had to go to court, I was really able to focus all day on studying. And when I did, I had to take my exam the next day. And forgive me because I know I don't have no frame or anything, but this is how you do stuff old school. You just protect what you got no matter how you got to protect it.